pursuit of joy.
I can't take it anymore. Get out, get out, get out. Uncle, make it end. Make it end. What is this? Guys, I feel like I'm a very accepting person.
Meghan Markle. She's a modern-day princess. She's a great catch for Harry. She's like a Hollywood star, isn't she? He is the happiest I've ever seen him. She is the most insecure person I have seen in the public eye in a long time. That is why everything had to be perfectly curated. Who the hell picks berries in a white cashmere blouse and white pants? Meghan Markle's Hollywood fairy tale is unraveling fast, and the fallout is getting messy.
Truly, I want to like something about her. I'm searching for something to like about her, and it's so hard because she suffers from such a rare disorder of being unable to just be a human. Do you know what I mean?
Just a few years ago, she was hailed as a bold new voice, the Duchess turned media mogul, ready to conquer the industry on her own terms. But now the spotlight's turning harsh, and the A-listers who once stood by her are stepping back fast. Sources say Tyler Perry, who famously offered her refuge during the royal exit, is now keeping his distance. Even Oprah, once her most vocal supporter after that bombshell interview, has reportedly cut her off. So what happened? Why is every celebrity friend Meghan was begging to have now turning their back on her?
Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle.
She's the modern-day princess.
She's a great catch for Harry.
She's like a Hollywood star, isn't she? He is the happiest I've ever seen him.
She is the most insecure.
Join me today as we dive deep into Meghan's latest drama, as I show you the shocking ways Oprah and Tyler Perry came to find out Meghan is not to be trusted. In the pursuit of joy, I can't take it anymore. Get out, uncle, make it end. What is this? Guys, I feel like I'm a very accepting person. Truly. I want to like something about her. I'm searching for something to like about her, and it's so hard because she suffers from such a rare disorder of being unable to just be a human. You know what I mean? Now, Meghan Markle's Hollywood downfall is unfolding like a real-life drama, and the plot twists just keep coming. Once embraced as a modern-day icon, Meghan now finds herself at the heart of a public reckoning that's shaken her brand to its core. The Duchess, who once commanded attention from global media and the A-list elite, is now watching her inner circle crumble and her once promising media ventures fizzle into silence.
Secure person I have seen in the public eye in a long time. That is why everything had to be perfectly curated. Who the hell picks berries in a white cashmere blouse and white...
It wasn't long ago that Meghan was surrounded by powerful allies. Tyler Perry opened his home to her. Oprah Winfrey gave her a global platform. But now those same names are reportedly distancing themselves. Whispers of strained relationships and behind-the-scenes discontent are growing louder, with industry insiders hinting that Meghan may have overplayed her hand. The media empire she set out to build with bold claims of redefining narratives and reclaiming control has hit a wall. The Spotify deal ended with a thud. Her Netflix presence has grown quiet. And public trust she claims she had? Well, it's eroding fast. Critics argue that behind the polished image was a strategy too focused on victimhood and not enough on substance. This backlash isn't just about a failed podcast or a dropped deal. It's about credibility, influence, and what happens when the court of public opinion turns against someone who once seemed untouchable. To make things worse for Meghan, her empire that she moved continents to build is showing serious cracks, and financial questions are swirling. Deals are falling through, and projects once hyped as groundbreaking have all quietly fizzled. With Spotify pulling the plug and Netflix reportedly reconsidering future collaborations, insiders are starting to question whether the Meghan brand still holds weight in Hollywood. It's a stunning reversal for someone who once captivated both the press and the public. Her credibility is under fire, and so is her future in the entertainment world. Is this the end of Meghan's Hollywood era? Or just the beginning of a new battle for relevance? One thing's for sure, Meghan's glitz is fading and the stakes have never been higher. And a clear example of this was the recent BET Awards. You see, the BET Awards were supposed to be a celebration, but instead they became the stage for a bombshell moment that sent Hollywood buzzing. Meghan Markle found herself at the center of a very public reckoning, and the messenger was none other than Tyler Perry. Perry took to the stage for what was meant to be a heartfelt tribute, but what came next left the room in stunned silence. "You can't build a palace on unpaid bills," he declared. The crowd gasped. This wasn't just a clever line, it was a clear, calculated statement, and it landed like a slap. Sources say Perry's words weren't off the cuff. They were the result of years of simmering tension. Insiders claim that despite Perry's deep generosity, Meghan never repaid the financial support he extended during one of her most turbulent moments. That silence, that lack of reciprocity, may have pushed one of her strongest allies to finally speak out, and he did so on the biggest stage possible. But that wasn't the only chilling silence echoing through the night. Oprah Winfrey, once Meghan's loudest champion, has reportedly gone radio silent. Her team at Harpo Productions hasn't uttered Meghan's name in months, a shocking shift for someone who helped shape. So now that Meghan Markle's public image is melting faster than a vegan popsicle at Coachella, let's talk about just how deep this Hollywood freeze-out goes. You know it's bad when PR firms are actively warning clients, do not associate your brand with Meghan Markle. That's not just rejection, that's exile with a press release. And in Tinseltown, reputation is everything. If your name alone makes execs sweat and sponsors backpedal, you've officially become toxic in couture. The term insiders are throwing around? The Markle risk factor. Yeah, it sounds like a Netflix thriller, but it's not. It's Hollywood code for she brings more drama than dollars, more headlines than hits, and more questions than clarity. That's a nightmare combo in an industry where brand is gospel. And speaking of risky business, let's get into Archwell, because this is where Meghan's empire really starts showing its cracks. Remember when Archwell was hyped as the future of socially conscious celebrity philanthropy, inspiring change, empowering voices, building community? Well, the latest audits are raising eyebrows. Allegations of inflated consulting fees, expenses that don't line up with tax filings, delayed reimbursements. You know, classic non-profit drama with a designer twist. Some watchdogs suggest Archwell may be far less liquid than it appears. One report even claimed the foundation looked wealthy on paper, but cash poor behind the scenes. Translation: the receipts aren't matching the mission. And here's the kicker. Financial transparency is the bare minimum in the philanthropy world. If Meghan can't even keep the books clean while preaching change, what does that say to donors, to fans, to the Hollywood execs already second-guessing their association with her? Now let's swing back to Meghan's inner circle, or what's left of it. Gone are the power players who once flocked to her like she was the second coming of Princess Diana with a podcast mic. Serena, silent. George Clooney, ghost. Gayle King, no longer singing the praises. And Tyler Perry? That BT speech was practically a cinematic breakup. Let's not forget the media empire that never quite empires. Netflix reportedly paid over $100 million for the Sussex content pipeline, expecting groundbreaking storytelling and massive returns. What they got? A couple of docuseries with all the depth of an Instagram reel and none of the engagement. Pearl, Meghan's animated series, was supposed to inspire a generation of girls. Instead, it got scrapped before it even aired a trailer. And while her docuseries did pull in some early attention, industry critics were unimpressed. Buzzwords like vapid, curated, and lacking authenticity got tossed around more than confetti at a royal wedding. Even Spotify couldn't make it work. Her podcast Archetypes had a $20 million backing and barely made it through 12 episodes. Executives reportedly felt duped. One even said Meghan wanted the glory without doing the work. Ouch. And while Harry's memoir Spare was a publishing phenomenon, Meghan's own narrative, it's gotten quiet, suspiciously quiet. For someone once dubbed the most powerful woman in Hollywood without a job title, she now finds herself with neither the title nor the power. And let's be honest, none of this was supposed to happen. Meghan's Hollywood plan was strategic, precision-crafted, marry royalty, exit gracefully. Build a media empire rooted in values, vulnerability, and Vogue aesthetics. Get Oprah, get Spotify, get Netflix. Control the narrative, dominate the industry. But here's the harsh truth. You can only control the narrative for so long before the audience starts writing their own. Especially when that audience is filled with A-listers, studio execs, producers, and most importantly, former allies with receipts. And let's not forget how she used to frame herself, the misunderstood outsider, the brave truth teller, the one who dared to challenge the crown and survive. That storyline had power until it didn't. Now she's not seen as the brave rebel, she's seen as calculating, elitist, inconsistent, and worst of all in Hollywood, unrelatable. Even her recent rebranding efforts haven't landed. PR insiders claim she's tried to reapproach brands for partnerships, but the response? Lukewarm at best, ice cold at worst. One source put it bluntly, she's not trustworthy enough to headline a brand and not controversial enough to drive clicks anymore. And poor Harry, he's in this too. While once viewed as the dashing escapee of the monarchy, he's now being painted as Meghan's sidekick. Even fans who once rooted for his rebellion are asking, Did Harry give up his royal status just to become a California extra in Meghan's Hollywood dream? At this point, the royal family might be the least of Meghan's problems. At least they had protocol. Hollywood has memory, and when they turn on you, they turn hard. What's worse? Meghan can't even lean on the press for sympathy anymore. The S